Hey everyone, this is Mr. Evans and I'm going to show you how to use a really good website called Quizlet. And Quizlet is a great website for learning anything, for studying any type of material, but it's really good for studying vocabulary terms, terms and definitions. So I'm going to show you how to use the site, and then there's a group of terms and definitions that you'll be working with today so that you can learn how to use Quizlet. All right, so to get to Quizlet, what you're going to do is when you log into your Chromebook, this page should pop up with the lion on the computer. If you don't see this page, just let me know. Raise your hand. I'll come around and I will find it for you. Click on Innovations Class Links at the top here. Choose your grades set. In Quizlet, they're called sets. So I want you to choose your grades set. I'm going to go ahead and choose, just to demonstrate this, I'll choose the 4th grade set. Some Quizlet sets have words and definitions and pictures. Some of them will just have words and definitions. So when you first get to Quizlet, the first thing that you want to do is you want to study the words and the definitions. You need to become familiar with the words and definitions before you do any of the other things that are in Quizlet. So you will start with this area right here called flashcards. When you click on flashcards, it's going to show the first word. If you want to see the definition for this word, plain, then you would click anywhere in this white area and it'll show the back so that you can study the word. If you want to go to the next card, you can click this arrow here. This number will show how many cards there are altogether. There is also some other choices that you can make over here on the right side. For example, if you choose flow, it'll show the cards in sort of an up-down view, and you can just go through them like this. If you want to see them like note cards, you'd click on flip, and you'd see them this way. This is probably the best way to study them. If you want to actually hear how a word or a term or a definition are pronounced, you can turn on audio.
Desert.
And when you turn on audio, it will say everything that's on the cards. When you flip it,
A very dry place with little rainfall and few plants.
you can hear that. And that's a really good way to study, because not only are you reading and using your sight to try to understand the terms and the definitions, but you're also using your sense of hearing at the same time. But if you don't want to hear the words read, you just turn that off. There's also a couple of different ways that you can see the card. You can start with the term, and then when you click, you'll see the back. Or you can just look at both sides at once just to study. Or you can start with the definition, and then when you click on the back of the card, you see the term. If you click shuffle, it'll shuffle all the cards into a different order. And if you click play, it'll just go through the cards one after a time without you having to click. All right, so that's the flashcards section. And the deal is, you want to spend some time here first in flashcards because you want to understand the words and the definitions before you do anything else in Quizlet. So if you look up here at the top, there are some other areas that you can go to help you learn the words. If you click on Learn, you are responsible for trying to type in the term that would match this definition. If you don't know it, all you have to do is click Don't Know. It'll tell you what the term is, and then you have to type it in. And then it'll go to the next one. That's the Learn section. The Speller section is a little different. The directions for this section is just to type what you hear.
Golf.
So she said golf. I'll type the word golf. It has the definition down over here on the right side. Hit the return key.
Mountain.
And it'll tell you if it's right. So in this one, you're practicing not just the word and the term, but how to spell the word as well. That's the speller section. So when you really have spent some time studying the words and practicing the words and definitions, then you can give yourself a test. And if you go to the test section, you can give yourself any kind of test that you want. Let's say you want to have a test that is just matching and true-false. You would just uncheck the other ones so that the only thing checked is matching and true-false. You would decide if you want to start with the term, the definition, or both. And also question limit. If you wanted to, you could create a test that only tests, say, 10 of the 26 terms and definitions, just like a little quiz, and it'll choose a random 10. But if you want to test all of them, you would go change that number 20 to 26. And then when you click Create New Test, you now have a new test that has a combination of matching and true-false questions. And after you take the test, you click down here where it says Check Answers, and it'll tell you your grade, and it'll show you the ones that you got right, and it'll show you ones that you missed. All right, so that is Flashcards Learn, Speller, and Test. And then there's also 2 games that will help you learn the words and definitions as well. One game is called Scatter. So I'm going to click on Scatter. The directions are make everything disappear. Drag the corresponding items onto each other to make them disappear. So you'll click Start Game. It'll give you a random collection of terms and definitions. And then your job is to take a term, let's say the term plane, and then you want to drag that to where you think it belongs. What is its partner? What is its definition? Right over here it says a flat area of land underneath this one. So I'm going to drag it to that, and when I lift my finger, they both disappear, which means I got it right. If you drag a word to a definition that it doesn't belong with, let's say the word source, I'll drag that to a stretch of high land that separates river systems. If I drag it to that and then lift my finger, it'll pop back out, and that'll be my indication that that was incorrect, that that word does not go with that definition. All right, and then there is one last game, which is the most challenging game, but people tend to really use this one a lot and like doing this one. So the goal of this one, the instructions say, destroy the scrolling words by typing in their corresponding term and pressing enter. You may destroy them in any order, but make sure they don't scroll past the screen. So the goal of this game is that a definition will come scrolling across the screen. Your job is to type it in this box, the term that goes with that definition. If it reaches the edge of the screen and you haven't typed it, then it'll do this. It'll give you the answer, and it'll tell you that you have to type that answer. In this case, the answer is divide. So I'm going to type D-I-V-I-D-E, hit the enter key, and then it keeps going. Every single time that you're not able to type the answer to that term, it'll stop you and make you type it. Island, I-S-L-A-N-D, it checks it, and it'll give you a chance to play again. In this case, since I let 2 of them get to the edge, I get 0 points, but you can keep playing this over and over again as many times as you need to. Okay, and the last thing I want to show you is the Google sign-in. As you all know, you have a school Google account. You are allowed to use that school Google account to create an account for Quizlet. And the really great thing about creating an account for Quizlet is that it will keep track of what you've studied. It'll keep track of the terms and definitions that you've had trouble with, so you can just concentrate on those. And it will even let you create your own Quizlet cards so that you can study anything that you want. You are allowed to use your school Google email address and password to have an account with Quizlet. The only thing is, since you're less than the age of 13, when you do the sign up, you have to type in a parent's email address so that they can verify the account. You cannot create a Quizlet account at school. You will have to do that with a parent, but you are allowed to use your school Google account to create your own Quizlet account. Okay? So, that is how Quizlet works. I hope you enjoy it. To get started today, as a reminder, I'll go ahead and close this out. You will go to Innovations Class Links. You'll find your grade level set of Quizlet cards, and then just have some fun and learn some terms and definitions. All right. If you have any questions, raise your hand. I'll come by and I'll be glad to help you.